What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope you all having a great day. By now, I'm sure everybody's heard that Zack Martin is having season-ending surgery on his right ankle that's been bothering him all season. Zack Martin's had a rough year after being an All-Pro last year and getting his contract redone. So here's a question. While I was recording that Zack Martin was having surgery, my buddy Clarence called me and said, "You think they're done, man? They could bring him back next year and things." And I said, one of the problems that we have as Cowboy fans is we have this thing that we always end up being that we can't live without a guy. And we typically hang on to guys for too long. And I think about times that we've said, oh, we can't, we got to bring this guy back. And more times than not, they're more of a shell of themselves. See, a lot of teams will go through and they'll trade a player while they're still valued to really get something in return. Now, some of you may say, well, maybe you should be trading Micah Parsons. I'm kind of like, Micah still, if he were a running back, I'd say maybe you're right on that one. But Micah Parsons, no, he's an edge rusher. He's going to be good for plenty longer. But what I'm talking about is, you think about, say, Tyron Smith. The Cowboys let him go at the end of last year, which was the right move because, clearly you can see he's not making any hay anymore. He's on injured reserve right now for the Jets, and more than likely will be retired after this year. You can think about so many times we just let players go and get nothing in return. And so this is a case of Zack Martin. Now, Zack Martin, technically, here's an interesting thing, per Todd Archer, okay? You'll remember he held out a training camp last year so that way he could get a little bit more money out of the Cowboys. So technically, this is per Todd Archer, Zack Martin is signed through the 25 season based on a restructure that took place in the 2024 offseason. If he is still on the roster on the 5th of the 25 league year, which would be like March 20th, I believe, he would be guaranteed, $40 million in 26. With this designation, the Cowboys can spread the cap hit over 2 years. Okay. Or they could try to restructure it, or excuse me, they could rework the deal. If he wants to continue to play, as he put it, there's time to get a reworked deal in place before the 5th day of the 25 league year, where it would not be the 2026 guarantee. The thing I can think about, I don't know how much Zack Martin has left. I know he's been battling for a long, long time. I'm not ready to say Brock Hoffman is as good as Zack Martin. But at some point, you have to start looking at this and saying, turning the roster over. And I'm not sure bringing back Zack Martin, coming back from ankle surgery, after the multitude of injuries, is necessarily the wisest thing. I see this Dallas Cowboy team getting younger by the minute. And when you start looking at this, Dak Prescott will probably be the only person on over 30 that's left on the roster. Do we look at it and say, oh, it was a great idea to bring Zeke back? Was it a great idea to bring Sean Lee back? We've brought back a lot of players that we said, oh, man, we can't make it without those guys. And trust me, part of the problem our team has is a shortage of key players. I get it. But I think that maybe it is time to go ahead and put Zack Martin out to pasture. That it's time. And start looking for your next Zack Martin. We'll see what happens. We've got until March 20th to make a decision on whether or not they're going to bring him back or rework his schedule. Or the question will be is, does Zack Martin want to go out the way he did? I can't answer any of those questions. I wish I could. But it's hard. It's definitely hard. When you've done something like football all your life and then you finally meet the end, some players have a hard way dealing with that. But he will be in Canton, I can guarantee that. Have a good day, good people. Peace.